There's been word of some trouble nearby. I'm on my way to investigate. Until next time.
I'm ready if you are. It's around the side of the castle. Let's move. Yes? What did you need? Alright, let's see what you have. I can't wait. See the... Yeah, just around this bend. Doesn't look so big from down here. I mean, it is big, but look, even bigger. Where'd you come from? That'll teach you. Who's there? Yo, where'd you come from? Take a left up here. This is one of those weird double-barred security measures that my father put in when he got more paranoid. done and done. This leads out to the courtyard. Just head for the door. We've made it to the courtyard. Oh no. What happened to this place? Everything's been torn down. The whole place looks... well, dead. It's like we're the first to set foot here in centuries. This used to lead into the castle's great hall. It looks like my father had it sealed up. I used to walk through here after evening meals. It was beautiful once. This was my mother's garden. Do you know how beautiful something can be when it's tended by a master for hundreds of years? She would have hated to see it like this. Wait. Something's wrong with the moon dial here. Some of the crests are missing and the dial is askew. I didn't even know the crests could be removed. Maybe my mother's trying to tell us something. I'm telling you, there's something strange with the moon dial. Very clever, Mother. Very clever. I've never been in those tunnels before, but I'd bet they'd run right under the courtyard and into the tower ruins. Well, at least we're getting closer. Let's go. We're getting close. I'm sure of it. I've never even seen this part of the castle before. Be careful. I don't know what might be around. Who's there? I heard something. Where'd you come from? That'll teach you. Where'd you come from? I heard something. I heard something. Where'd you come from? Who's there? Where'd you come from? Reached the top yet. I bet there's some kind of secret passage around here. We're getting close. I'm sure of it. Leave it to my mother. Always smarter than I gave her credit for. We're getting close. I'm sure of it. Anything good? This better not be all the things you just can't be bothered with. Turns out my mother was sneakier than I thought. I wonder what she's hiding. If I had to guess, I'd say the moment Mother fled the castle, Father went on a rampage. Knowing him, anything at all that reminded him of her was just destroyed. It appears that way. I suppose he wanted to put the past behind him. Perhaps if he had spent more time with us, he would have recognized the beauty for himself. Turns out my mother was sneakier than I thought. Look at this place. This has to be it. I knew she was deep into necromancy. I mean, she taught me everything I know. But I had no idea she had a setup like this. Look at all this. She must have spent years collecting these components. And what's this thing? I'm not sure about this circle, but it's obviously something. Let's take a look around. There has to be something here that tells us where she's gone. You found her journal! Let me take a look at it. I only know what she told me. She had a theory about soul gems, that the souls inside of them don't just vanish when they're used. They end up in the soul cairn. The soul cairn is home to very powerful beings. Necromancers send them souls and receive powers of their own in return. My mother spent a lot of time trying to contact them directly, to travel to the soul cairn itself. That circle in the center of the room is... If I'm reading this right, there's a formula here that should give us safe passage into the soul cairn. A handful of soul gem shards, some finely ground... Oh, damn it. We're also going to need a sample of her blood, which, if we could get that... not bad. We'd better hope that's good enough. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get started. Oh, definitely. Mother would have plenty of those materials in her laboratory. You just need to find them. Get the ingredients in that vessel and let me know when you're ready. Then the rest is up to me. Are you ready to go? I'm not entirely sure what this thing is going to do when I add my blood. Of course. What is it? I've been asking myself the same thing since we came back to the castle. She was so sure of what we did to my father. I couldn't help but go along with her. I never thought of the cost. Possibly. I guess even a vampire mother is still a mother. She worried about me. About all of us. But she wanted to get me as far away from my father as possible. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I just didn't expect anyone to care how I... Are we ready then? All right. Here goes. The Soul Cairn is a tiny... It's ruled by unseen beings known as the Ideal Masters. Are you alright? That looked painful. Now that I think about it, I should have expected that. It's hard to describe. The Soul Cairn is... well, hungry, for lack of a better word. It's trying to take your life essences. There might be, but... vampires aren't counted among the living. I could probably go through there without a problem. Not your first choice, I'd guess? Maybe. We could just pay the toll another way. It wants a soul, so we give it a soul. My mother taught me a trick or two. I could partially soul trap you and offer that gem to the Ideal Masters. It would make you a bit weaker when we travel through the Soul Cairn, but we might be able to fix that once we're inside. I'm sorry. I wish I knew a better... Just know that... I know that better than anybody. Have you made up your mind? Are you sure? I'm willing to turn you, but you need to think it... You'd become the very thing you've sworn to destroy. I don't know how the Dawnguard will react. Turning someone is a very... personal thing for vampires. It's intimate. For us. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you into this. Let's not waste too much time then. I promise to try and make this as painless as possible. Hold still.
You must help me find my Arvak. He doesn't deserve... Arvak, my horse. We came to this horrible place together. We were attacked by monsters, so I told him to run. Please, he's such a loyal creature, and he's been running for so long. You have to save him. Arvak? Arvak! Where are you? Arvak, please come back! Come back!
Show yourself. Must be gone now.
Mother? Mother!
Mika. It can't be. Serana?
Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We have to talk.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to stop him, to make everything right.
Wait a minute. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter? It pains me to think you'd travel with Serana under the guise of her protector in an effort to hunt me down. Coming from one who murders vampires as a trade, I find it hard to believe your intentions are noble. Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you. You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself. When I fled Castle Volkihar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon. Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor. It was expected of her, just as it was expected of me. Being selected as an offering to Molig Bal is an honor. She wouldn't have dared turn her back on that. Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible. If Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires. And how exactly do you plan on stopping her? If you believe that, then you're a bigger fool than I originally suspected. Don't you think I weighed that option before I enacted my plans? You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. Whether or not you've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn, you're still a vampire hunter at heart. You're here because we're abominations in your mind. Evil creatures that need to be destroyed. Serana, this stranger aligns himself with those that would hunt you down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to him.
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known him than you've done in centuries.
How dare you! I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father!
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
Serana, if you'd only open your eyes. The moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you two. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that. Maybe we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him, before he goes too far. And to do that, you need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, It's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me, but for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that... Yes, I've kept it safely secured here. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins. You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnavir roaming the cave. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat.
Things and get back to the prison.
He's such a loyal beast. Here, I'll teach you how to call him to you. He'll help you get around this wretched place. But Goodbye, hero. Take good care of Arvak for me. Such a good horse.
barrier should be gone now. Let's head back. Anything good? Relieved. All those things had been building for a while. You have no idea how long I wanted to say that to her. Look, I loved my father, but when he found that prophecy, that became his life. Everything else, even me and my mother, we just became clutter. I was close with my mother, but she just kept feeding me her opinions of him, and eventually I started believing them. Like I said, we were never very close. Not a lot of father-daughter bonding, if you know what I mean. But once we threw our lot in with Molag Bal, he just don't think about their families anymore. Power takes precedence, he always said. I was. Honestly, it took me up until now to figure out that my mother was really just as bad as he was. He was obsessed with power. She was obsessed with seeing him fail. It was just so toxic. Maybe I could have seen this coming. We could all be better off. Oh, they definitely were. I just wonder if that meant it was my job to be giving. Anyway, we should keep moving.
You managed to destroy all 3 keepers? Very impressive. Yes. Please follow me. Keep watch for Durnevere. With the prison's barrier down, he's almost certain to investigate.
I'm glad you're here. I don't think I could be doing this alone. There's not a whole lot. You've met both of my parents. They're both crazy in their own way. It's not that simple. I guess it never is with families, is it? And what about you? What were your parents like? That's too bad. Do you know how they're doing now? That makes sense. Let's just keep going. Here's something. Come on, she's leading us to the scroll.
Forgive my astonishment, but I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon. Volumes written on Durnevere allege that he can't be slain by normal means. It appears... unless... the soul of a dragon is as resilient as its owner's scaly hide. It's possible that your killing blow has merely displaced Durnevere's physical form. What will be? Minutes? Hours? Years? I can't even begin to guess. I suggest we don't wait around to find. Now, let's get you the Elder Scroll, and you can be on your way.
Come on, she's leading us to the scroll.
Now that you've retrieved the Elder Scroll, you should be alive. I have no choice. As I told you before, I'm a daughter of Cold Harbor. If I return to Tamriel, that increases Harkon's likelihood of bringing the tyranny of the sun to fruition. After what I've put Solana through, I would understand if she never wished to see me again. I leave that decision in your hands. Remember that Harkon is not to be trusted. No matter what he promises, he'll deceive you in order to get what he wants. And promise me you'll keep my daughter safe. She's the only thing of value I have left.
The sooner we get the scroll home, the sooner we deal with my father. I'm glad we found the scroll. I wish she could come with us. I'm glad we found the scroll.
Did you have anything to ask before you depart? As you've been traveling in the Soul Cairn, let's just say, a tiny part of you rubbed off on it. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer. Farewell. Remember that Harkon's not to be trusted.
I'm glad we found the scroll.
Stay your weapons. I would speak with you, Quinarin. Cursed, not dead. Doomed to exist in this form for eternity. Trapped between Laas and Enoch. Between life and death. I believe in civility among seasoned warriors, and I find your ear worthy of my words. My claws have rended the flesh of innumerable foes, but I have never once been felled on the field of battle. I therefore honor name you Quinarin, or Vanquisher in your tongue. Your words do me great honor. My desire to speak with you was born from the result of our battle, Quinarin. I merely wish to respectfully ask a favor of you. For countless years I've roamed the Soul Cairn in unintended service to the Ideal Masters. Before this, I roamed the skies above Tamriel. I desire to return there. I fear that my time here has taken its toll upon me. If I ventured far from the Soul Cairn, my strength would begin to wane until I was no more. I will place my name with you and grant you the right to call my name from Tamriel. Do me this simple honor, and I will fight at your side as your Graze Mazen, your ally, and teach you my Thum. Trivial in your mind, perhaps. For me, it would mean a great deal. I don't require an answer, Quinarin. Simply speak my name to the heavens when you feel the time is right.
Come on, let's go home.
What's the Jarl going to do about it? How are we supposed to...
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. You think you've got what it takes?
Oh, what is it? I can't say it surprises me. I just didn't know when. You always say what you think, don't you? I don't like him any more than you do, but he is my father. I'm getting there, making my peace with it. Come on, we can talk about this another time. What now?
Well, aren't you the handsome one? You and I... Huh? I know you for what you are. This town's blood is ours. Leave it. Now we must return to our roles, lest the sheep suspect the wolves.
Please don't mind Yorick. He's not bad. Really, he's not.
Ooh, don't like those eyes you got. There's a bad hunger to them. Been talk of a little boy in Windhelm, name of Aventusser. They say Falion of Morthal has studied vampires, Draugr, and all matter of undead. See ya.
What's the hurry?
If you stand before me to accuse me of sacrificing children or eating the hearts of the dead, you may save your... I have done no such thing, nor do I intend to. I keep to myself. I offer... Beyond that, I seek only to be left alone to pursue my... I know many things. I have studied things beyond the reach. I have met Daedra and Dwemer and everything in between, and I know enough to see a vampire where others would see a man. It is possible I know of a ritual but have never performed it. It requires a filled black soul gem. When you have a gem and have filled it, return to me and I will perform the ritual. I will bring life to your dead body, vampire. My talents are much needed. Very well. Meet me at the summoning circle in the marsh at dawn. We shall banish the creature you have become. All right, then. Good, you're here. As you desire. I call upon Oblivion Realms, the home of those who are not our ancestors. Answer my plea. As in death there is new life, in Oblivion there is a beginning for that which has ended. I call forth that power. Accept the soul that we offer. As the sun ends the night, end the darkness of this soul. Return life to the creature you see before you. The ritual is complete. My talents are much needed here in order to keep Morthal safe.
Oh, what is it?
I trust your journey was successful? I'm sorry, my friend. I can no longer be of use in this matter. It's my fault. In my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the careful preparation required. I thought I'd be able to allay the after effects, but I was wrong. Now I am paying for it. Blind? Yes, I'm afraid so. No, it will have to run its course, and there's always the chance I may never recover. No, there is another way. The question is, how much are you willing to risk to find Oriel's bow? I can't guarantee you'd be free from harm. Becoming blind could be the least of your worries. Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as Ancestor Glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the Ancestor Moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek. It involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract ancestor moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls. In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the Ancestor Glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every moth priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you. From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy. Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. There is quite a bit of ritual and It can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then, months to recover. Sadly, yes. It is the inevitable fate we agree to pursue when reading the Elder Scrolls. It generally does not occur until a moth priest is in his latter years, but in my case, I simply was not preparing myself properly. Good luck. I hope you find the answers you seek.
I hope we reach Ancestor Glade soon. Do you need something? Not very impressive, is it? If this ends up being a wasted trip, your friend Dexian and I are gonna have some words when we get back. Wow. Look at this place. No one's been here in centuries. I doubt there's any other place like it in Skyrim. It's beautiful. Oh, what is it? It's not like anything else in Skyrim, I can tell you that much. From now or before. There's probably groves like this all over Tamriel. Most people just don't even know what to look for. Hope the moths like that bark as much as Dexian said they would. Look at them. They've definitely taken a liking to you. And unless I'm seeing things, you're starting to glimmer. Do you need something? They seem quite taken to you now that you're carrying some of the tree bark. I guess we should have seen this coming. Moth priest, moths. Couldn't hurt to gather more, I suppose. Well, unless my vision's playing tricks, there seems to be some sort of magical effect around you. Seems like we're on the right track. Otherwise, I don't have the faintest idea. Are you okay? Almost thought I lost you there. You went as white as the snow. I could see it in your eyes. You looked about 1,000 leagues away. What about Ariel's bow? Do you know where we can find it? Then it's almost over. We can finally put an end to this ridiculous prophecy. Where is this Darkfall cave? Then let's get going. I want to get there before my father has a chance to track us down.
Never back down!
It'll be good to get out of the sun for a while. What now? Not much. If you read any history, it shows up from time to time, but it's a hard thing to track. As far as I know, though, it's never been held by a vampire. That would be a new one. Ariel is one of the elven gods. He's with the rest of them in Aetherius. The way I've heard it, the sun represents the connection from our world to theirs. Supposedly, the bow draws its energy from the sun itself, which is why it shows up in that prophecy. That part, I don't know. Once we have it, hopefully it'll be obvious. Open here. Who's there? Done and done. Why would anyone want to set up camp here? I wonder what happened to them.
Come forward. You have nothing to fear here.
I feel some kind of power.
I am Knight Paladin Gelibor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel. Auriel, Alkosh, Akatosh, so many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves. I prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers. Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed. Of course, you're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance. I need you to kill Archcurate Vertha, my brother. The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen. They swept into the chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause. The chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum where I believe they corrupted Vertha. He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting. Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a Knight Paladin of Auriel, and an assault on the Betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death. Yes, let me show you. This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? It makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temple so we can kill your brother and claim Auriel's bow.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment. There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the chantry. Caves? Oh no. The chantry encompasses far more than a few. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the initiate's ewer. Once you've located a way shrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened. This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any... Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
That wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be. Kind of soothing, actually. I feel a little warmer now. Oh, what is it? Where'd you come from? Done and done. something? Turn off, I suppose. You come back. Where'd you come from? Get it now while we can. Done and done. Who's there? Be careful here. Whatever's on the other side of this, almost will not keep it. Where'd you come from? Done and done.
welcome in. Are you prepared to honor the month? Then behold Ariel's gift, my child. May it light your path as you seek tranquility within the inner sanctum.
That's another way shrine up there. Here we go. What now? Honestly, I don't think they care what a bunch of vampires would do with Ariel's bow. They're pretty focused on the past. As long as we can get this Werther out of the sanctum, I think they'll be happy to just hand it over. Where'd you come from?
Welcome. Then behold Ariel's gift, my child. May it speed your journey to the inner sanctum.
Where'd you come from? Done and done. This is the kind of thing I've been wanting to see. Makes everything else worth it.
You've reached... Ariel bless you, child, for you are a step closer to the inner sanctum and everlasting wisdom. May Ariel's warmth imbue your body with strength. You've arrived at the way. Then go forth, child. May the enrichment of Ariel strengthen your resolve as you undertake your journey to the inner sanctum. You've arrived at the way shrine of resolution. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment? May Ariel's glow shield you from your...
Who's there? Let's get indoors. Or in a cave. Anywhere. Just out of this. Where'd you come from? hear something? Who's there? I knew I heard something. Done and done. Where'd you come from?
You found the way. Are you prepared to honor the... May the blessings of Ariel protect you as you climb the road to the inner sanctum and final enlightenment. You found the way shrine of radiance, Initiate. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment? May Ariel's radiance fill your heart with joy.
It's using the older signs of his power. This temple must be ancient. The bow has to be in here. Yes? Falmer are frozen in the ice. I wonder how long they've been like this. That was creepy. Yes? If you think it'll help.
Did you really come here expecting to claim Ariel's bow? You've done exactly as I predicted. Brought your fetching companion to me.
Wait, is he talking about me?
Which, I'm sorry to say, means your usefulness is at an end.
Where'd you come from?
An impressive display, but a wasted effort. You delay nothing but your own deaths.
Watch out! He's falling down the ceiling!
This has gone on long enough.
Your life ends here, Bertha.
Child, my life ends long.
I am done.
No! Won't let you ruin centuries of preparation!
You alright? Come on, we can do this. I know we can. He's up there on the balcony. Come on. Enough, Werther. Give us the bow.
How dare you! I was the arch curate of Ariel, girl. I had the ears of a god.
Until the betrayed corrupted you. Yes, we've heard this sad story.
Gelibor and his kind are easily manipulated fools. Look into my eyes, Serana. You tell me what I am.
You're a vampire? But Ariel should have protected you.
The moment I was infected by one of my own initiates, Ariel turned his back on me. I swore I'd have my revenge, no matter what the cost.
You want to take revenge on a god?
Ariel himself may have been beyond my reach, but his influence on our world wasn't. All I needed was the blood of a vampire and his own weapon, Ariel's bow.
The blood of a vampire. Ariel's bow. It was you? You created that prophecy?
A prophecy that lacked a single final ingredient. The blood of a pure vampire. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor.
Oh, really? All this time for someone with my blood to come along. Well, too bad for you. I intend on keeping it. Let's see if your blood has any power to it.
What trickery is
Where'd
this?
you come from?
So the deed has been done. The restoration of this way shrine means that Verther must be dead, and the betrayed no longer have control over him. What? What are you talking about? A vamp. I see. That would explain much. Deep inside, it brings me joy that the betrayed weren't to blame for what happened here. Because that means there's still hope that they might one day shed their hatred and learn to believe in Auriel once again. It's been a long time since I felt that way, and it's been long overdue. My thanks to both of you. You risked everything to get Auriel's bow, and in turn, I can't think of a more deserving champion to carry it than you. If you wish to learn more about the bow, or obtain sun-hallowed arrows for it, I'd be more than happy to help. You've but to ask. If there's anything at all I can help you with, please ask. While it would fill me with joy to see the Chantry back to its former glory, now that my brother's dead, it's quite possible I'm the last of our kind. There's no need for that kind of talk. I said it was possible. It's also quite possible that there are some other isolated conclaves of snow elves, nestled elsewhere. I'll also assume Verther didn't exactly give you the option to stay your hand. For the time being, I will remain here on the Overlook and continue trying to keep... You're always welcome to return here at any time, of course. I feel nothing but sympathy for the betrayed, but I'm afraid that they're well beyond a cure at this point. Farewell, friend. May the radiance of Auriel fill your heart with joy.
It's not as shiny as I was expecting. Still, it's beautiful. I think we both know. It's time to face my father. If we don't, he'll keep chasing us for the rest of our lives. There's nowhere to run. And I'm certainly not moving in with my mother, if that's what you're implying. No, this has to end here and now. If we head back to the castle and kick the front door in, we're gonna be Let's head back to Isran and let him see what we've got first. I'm betting he'll lend us a sword or two. Do you need something? It sounds like... that's the last bit of the prophecy. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor can corrupt the bow. So I am. I guess we could use my blood. Do you have any arrows? Elven arrows? I'm not going to just bleed on any old thing. Oh, all right then. I don't think you can ever be ready to kill your parent. I'm doing my best to not think of him as my father anymore. We've got enough to worry about right now. You stay focused, and I'll worry about me.
You have Oriel's bow. I've heard it described in tales, but I could never have imagined its beauty. Indeed, The day hasn't been won while Harkon still walks Tamriel. But what of Serana? Can she be trusted to lift a blade against her own kind? I suppose that's as much as I can hope for. Let me address the Dawnguard and then we'll be off. The men deserve to know that we finally gained the upper hand.
Everyone, gather round. Come on then, we haven't got all day.
I knew it would come to this one day. I knew. And no one believed.
Good day, friend. Keeping well? Take care.
Oh.
For too long, we've allowed these vampires to poison the night and kill our people. Now, we finally have the means to strike back. We now have Ariel's bow. The gods themselves have favored us, and we must answer with action. The time has come to finally put an end to Harkon and his unholy prophecy. We will march on their lair and destroy those wretched abominations so they can no longer corrupt our world. This is our fight. And this is our fate. This is the time of the Dawnguard! Kill the abominations!
Here's a crossbow bolt between the eyes for me!
The prophecy is no more.
It's time we take the fight to their door. Gather your things and rest. It's time we take the fight to their... Gather your things and rest well, my friend. We meet outside Castle Volkihar. Keep your eyes open